What is going on, everybody? Thank you for clicking on today's video. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and talk about something that I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel, and that is my love of reptiles and my pet snakes. I have to do some cleaning, cage maintenance, and feeding today, so I thought I'd take you through and do an episode about my boa constrictor. Now, I'm not holding my boa constrictor. This is actually my oldest pet snake I have currently. This is Theodore. I've had him for 11 or 12 years now. He's a ball python, probably the best pet snake you can really get. Great starter, and they're awesome. Like, they're pretty commonplace, but that doesn't mean they're not super cool. And don't worry, I'm not gonna stop doing indie cosplay stuff. That'll probably be most of what this channel still is, but I thought I'd do kind of more of a lifestyle type video and showcase some of my snakes and how I take care of them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my Red Tailed Boa named Penny. She's currently in a 75-gallon cage, and this is a good kind of in-between size for her. She's only about 4 feet long right now, and she has the potential to get 8 to 10 feet long. I know they say with different bloodlines of boas, sometimes they only get 6 to 8 feet, but there's a guy down in Florida named Tom Crutchfield who has an absolutely massive red-tailed boa in a big outdoor enclosure. And even if Penny doesn't get 10 feet long, eventually I want to upgrade her enclosure to give her the space and ability to get that size. With boas, you kind of want to give them enclosures that match their size. So you don't want to put a tiny baby in too big of an enclosure or they'll stress out. You want their enclosure to kind of match them as they grow. So that's why, boas can make good pets, but they're not for everybody because, it's not just a matter of getting one enclosure. You kind of want to upgrade them as they go. Some people have different methods. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. This is just how I do it. So with this cage, this will last her maybe another couple of years. It's a very basic setup. I have a warm side with a hide and a cooler side with a hide, and then some enrichment and a nice big water dish. It could be bigger. And one of the things I want to add in here is just more branches and stuff for her to climb. Boas, especially in their early years, are more arboreal, meaning they, like to climb. They feel secure up in trees. If you're wearing a hat and holding Penny, she's gonna try to climb on your hat because they feel nice and secure up in the trees. So I want to give her the ability to climb and use those muscles and use that enrichment a little bit more than what she's currently got, but this is a nice basic setup. And this is a good kind of general snake setup. Hot side, cold side, warm side hide, cold side hide, and some enrichment, and a water dish. And then you want to make sure you keep the humidity, up there, especially for your pythons and boa species. But yeah, pretty basic. So Penny took a dump in the corner of her cage, so we got to clean that, disinfect it. We'll bring her out and then she'll probably get fed later today. So if you're doing any kind of cage maintenance, it's usually good practice to take the animal out of the cage. One, so you don't stress it out, and two, I don't keep any venomous, but if you ever do keep venomous, it's a good habit to get into. You don't want to get complacent and accidentally get tagged. And even if you don't own a venomous snake, it's never fun to get bit. So this cage is great. I really like how the lid opens up because you can pop it off just like so. And she's queued up. I think she knows she's gonna get fed today. And here is Penny. Voila. So like I said, Penny is a true red-tailed boa. Sometimes you'll see common boas referred to as Colombian red tails. Penny is a true red tail, and I'm not super into boa morphs, but a buddy of mine who is said he believes her to be a hypomelanistic red tail, maybe even with some salmon boa because she's got really orange sides, which is why I named her Penny. So she'll probably be good hanging out on the bed here, crawling around while I'm cleaning her cage. And we're just doing a little spot clean today. We're not changing out all the substrate, so I'm just gonna go in, grab the poke, difficult to do one-handed. Like that. What you doing? It's nice if you have, you know, bigger snakes to let them out of their cage and kind of stretch out a little bit. You know, it's good enrichment for them, gets them using their muscles, and it's fun to look at them and kind of gauge their size. With boas, you don't want to let them get too fat. You want a nice kind of like they always talk about the boxy frame of them, kind of rectagonal. And the thing about boas is they won't refuse a meal, so it's very easy to overfeed them. So it's funny, different snakes have different personalities. Penny loves her small hide, even though she's way too big for this hide now. So what I do is I put it there, and then I have one of these little archways. That's kind of an entryway for her. And then put this little cork on top of it to kind of hold it in place. And I've got, you know, like a little piece of grapevine, a little flower and plant, just as decoration. That's more for me than it is for her, but it never hurts for enrichment. And then she has her warm side hide over there, which is a little bit bigger. So once she definitively can't fit in here anymore, I'll probably get a second one of those and move it over here. So fresh and so clean, Penny. One, two, and secure. Such a pretty snake. So now I am on my way to Scales and Tails, which is an amazing local reptile shop. The staff has always been incredibly friendly and super knowledgeable with all my questions and needs. And I like to get my rats pre-killed from them. You can get frozen thawed, and you can get them if you have a lot of snakes, you can get frozen thawed in bulk shipped to you, and there's a bunch of different places you can get frozen thawed rodents from. But I like to do it nice and fresh for my snakes, but I don't feed live. Thank goodness all of my snakes eat pre-killed or frozen thawed, and it's just, you know, a little bit easier on the snake. You don't have to worry about the rodent accidentally chomping your snake, and you know, it's a little bit more humane of an out for the rodent. You know, I've been keeping snakes since I was 5 years old, and I love seeing, you know, the snakes do what they do best. You know, they're hunters, they're predators, and they're extremely, you know, amazing creatures. But, you know, I'm an animal lover, so I don't get any pleasure out of seeing an animal being killed. That being said, it is always exciting to watch, you know, your snakes and your pets eat. So I'm about to get to the pet store, and we'll check in later. All right, I'm back from the pet store, and I would just like to put this out there. If you're uncomfortable with watching a snake eat a rat, I would go ahead and turn off this video or skip ahead a little bit. You know, it's the rat, like I said, is pre-killed, but I understand that that might be uncomfortable if you aren't used to watching that kind of stuff. So if that would make you uncomfortable, I suggest turn off the video now. But before you do, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Indiana Jones cosplay stuff. Or drop a comment, let me know if this is the kind of stuff you'd like to see tossed into the mix a little bit more routinely. If you want to watch a snake eat, continue watching. So Penny can smell the rat, or the smell of rat in the air. So she will be very easy to feed here. Oh no. So I messed up dropping that rat in there. So what I will do, because trying to get that thing out is going to be kind of a pain. She might sniff it and smell it and get it out on her own, but what I can do is feed her another rat, and while she's eating it, just get the other one out. So we'll give that a go. There we go. While she's preoccupied, we'll reach in. Too easy. So at this size, Penny eats about every 10 days to every 14 days. When they're smaller, you can feed them about once a week, but she's at a size now where she eats every, like I said, 10 days to 2 weeks, and that keeps her at a good body size, but she's still growing like a weed. So now that Penny's done eating, it's good to leave her alone, and sometimes I'll even cover up her cage. I've noticed with her and some other snakes, right after you feed them, they can be a little bit more defensive than normal, just because this is usually their most vulnerable time, especially in the wild. When snakes are eating, their mouths are occupied and they're feeling a little bit sluggish because they have a big piece of food in them. So even a super sweet snake like Penny just wants to be left alone right after she eats. All right, well, that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you enjoy this type of video, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, thank you for watching.